Welcome back to Memphis Morning News with Tim Van Horn and Karen Perrin on 600 WREC and 600WREC.com.
645, rolling along like the Stones this morning. 75 degrees, some rain in the northern part of the county. Scattered showers, high in the mid-80s for today. Lee Harris, Tennessee Senator, coming up 7:15, talking about our water. And then Megan Nichols, this time next hour from the Memphis Business Journal.
We're talking now to Debbie Sardone and talking about a study. And we mentioned this a little bit earlier this week, but it's one we're going to delve into a little deeper now. Paying others to do things for you could be the secret to happiness. I have often asked the question, chef, personal shopper, chauffeur, cleaning person, trainer, or landscaper, if you could have one, what would it be? What would make your life better and easier? And that's this study kind of talks about people paying others to do things. Debbie, good morning. We're looking at this study, and it seems like we really value our free time in order to pay others to do stuff for us.
You better believe it, and thank you so much for having me on. This is one of my favorite topics, cleaning, because money can't buy happiness, but it really can buy time.
Well, and I look at this list of things that
studies show time is what people want.
Sure, and when you've got somebody to clean your house, that's going to make you happy. Maybe you want a personal shopper, or you could use somebody to come out and do the work in your yard. So many different things we can do to, maybe slide somebody a little cash to help us get a little better in what we want to do in our life.
That is so true, and more people are using house cleaning services to free up their time, and that's really what people are after. In fact, a study has recently shown that more than 1 million people employ a cleaner to clean their house than a decade ago. So it's not losing momentum, it is gaining momentum. People don't have time.
Would some of that perhaps have to be because the economy did kind of go in the dumpster for a little bit, and you found people that went out to be independent contractors, and then you had competition to have cleaning folks out there. Where it used to be, as you said, you watch sitcoms and TV shows where everybody had a cleaning person, but now the average Joe Schmo can find somebody that's in their price range to help them out a little bit.
Exactly. More and more people are cleaning, and more professional cleaning services have emerged on the scene because demand is so high. In fact, the residential cleaning companies that are a part of ISSA, the Worldwide Cleaning Association, they are reporting they cannot keep up with the demand. There are so many people who are so stretched for time, they're hiring professionals to come in and take that one big chore off their plate.
I have learned, Debbie, that there are people that cook better than me. There are people that do landscaping better than me. And yes, there are people who clean better than me. But I'm even more amazed by the people who take on the job of house cleaning because they enjoy it, not only for themselves, but for others. Who are these people, and how do I drink that same water?
That is so true. It's therapeutic for some people. But for people like you and me and a lot of other busy Americans, it's not therapeutic. It is a looming chore on Saturday. And I truly believe that house cleaning has become an affordable necessity to hire that out and check one more box off your list by the time Saturday gets here and you want to spend that time with your family.
And then we all sit around the living room with our cell phones, with our necks, with our necks craned, looking at our tablets and everything. Debbie Sardone joining us this morning. She's a cleaning industry specialist, and as you said, there are some companies that have come up. You've got some mom and pop companies. You got some independent contractors out there. What's the best way, since we're talking about this, if we're interested in getting somebody priced out to do this, what's the best way to know you're getting somebody good?
Well, my philosophy is if you think a professional is expensive, wait till you hire an amateur. So really the very best way is to look for a professional company that actually does this for a living. It's not just a little side gig, and they take the business seriously, and they're insured, and they're bonded, and they carefully screen and train their employees. One big messed up can cost a consumer a small fortune if they're dealing with an unprofessional company that really can't even afford to take care of the problem they created. So the safest bet is just hire the pros.
Hey, and being the cleaning industry specialist that you are, do you find that there's one task that people don't want to do the most, that the reason they hire somebody to come in and help them?
Yes.
Bathrooms?
The one task overwhelmingly people say, I hate doing this, and it never gets done, and we can tell, is cleaning the shower. People hate it, and they don't know how to clean it properly. And usually the showers are the biggest challenge, from mold and mildew to soap scum and grime. Everybody hates cleaning the shower.
I thought you were going to say load the dishwasher, because that's the one I despise.
Well, I feel like I do that over the summer. I was thinking about the other day, if I got paid every time I loaded and unloaded the dishwasher, I could quit this job. When everybody's home during the summer, there's a lot of that going on. Hey, Debbie, it's always good to talk to you. Debbie Sardone, cleaning industry specialist. And, if you can work it out for yourself, it's good to have a little help around the house for sure. Debbie, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
A new study is out. And the key to happiness just might be in spending a little extra money. For instance, this study says if you were given $40 on the condition that you had to spend it on something that would make you really happy, how would you spend the money? Careful how you answer that. According to this study published in the journal PANS, people who buy time by paying someone to complete things such as household tasks are more satisfied in life. Debbie Sardone joins us on the live line now, cleaning industry specialist. Debbie, how does this work out? So, and can I add a lawn service to this list as well? Because I look out the window and watch somebody else mowing the lawn, and it makes me pretty happy too. Tell us more.
That is so true. Some studies recently have shown that when people spend their money to buy time, it does bring happiness, because time is what people want. And people don't feel guilty about hiring house cleaning chores out or hiring lawn care services out like they used to many years ago. And more and more people are doing it. About 1 million more people are hiring out household chores than were about a decade ago.
And it's not just the affluent, right? This used to just be something that the richer crowd got into. Folks are making room in the budget, and they're happy too.
That is absolutely correct. More and more people that would not consider themselves affluent are hiring out chores. There's just not enough time in the day to get everything done. And when you work hard all week long, the last thing you want to do is spend your Saturday scrubbing or arguing with your spouse over who's going to clean what.
And this is a whole secondary market as far as the economy for jobs and for different things that are happening. One of the things that's been a hot story here in our market is, and I think this would fall into the list too, people who don't want to grocery shop. So they're having their groceries delivered. They're having someone else do that for them because it's one of those menial tasks that they don't want to have to do.
And it isn't so much that it's menial. It's just people just don't have the time, and they find if they don't run to the grocery store and get, food for dinner, the whole family ends up going out to dinner at a restaurant, eating more calories and spending more money than they attended. So just having that service available, people are willing to pay a little bit more for service these days because they just don't have the time.
I'm on board. So as
we know,
as an industry specialist, let's specifically talk about cleaning, because sometimes, and I'm asking for a friend, people take a certain pride in their home and might be a little embarrassed or intimidated to have someone come in and see the mess that you've made. Any tips for that?
We deal with that all the time, because when the house gets away from you, it is embarrassing when you have somebody come in and you realize suddenly, wow, I didn't know it had gotten this bad. But the good news is when you hire a professional, it isn't like asking your mother-in-law to come over and help you clean. It's not like having your friends come over and help you clean. You hire a professional. It takes all the personal out of facing what hasn't been done in a while. And they're used to doing this. In fact, we love dirty houses. So that's the best way to save face is just hire a professional cleaning company, generally one that's a part of ISSA, the Worldwide Cleaning Association. They've been vetted, and they're professional companies. and they're used to it. They just come in with tools and supplies and rubber gloves, and when they leave, the place looks amazing. And then when you have it done every 2 weeks or even once a month, it's never going to look like that again. You won't be embarrassed again.
Debbie Sardone, cleaning industry specialist. Thanks so much for your time today.
The question I had, if you were given $40 on the condition that you had to spend it on something that would make you really happy, what would you do with the money? Some people might go shopping. Others would treat themselves to a dinner or movie. Diane thought a steak. That sounds fun. A few might even donate to a cause. But what about using the $40 to clean your house?
Clean your house.
According to a study published in the journal PNAS, people who buy time by paying someone to complete household tasks are more satisfied with life.
I would love that.
See, it is there.
Of course. I'd take that over a steak any day.
Debbie Sardone, how are you?
Good morning, and you guys nailed it. Money can't buy happiness, but it can buy time.
Cleaning industry specialist Debbie Sardone. The issues on that are A, who's coming into my house,
Yes.
and B, why is it so expensive?
I've got trust issues.
You know what? If you stick with hiring a professional cleaning company, like members that are a part of ISSA, the Worldwide Cleaning Association, you completely minimize the risk of having people in your home because they are bonded, insured, they train and screen their employees. So I think once you try it and the homeowner can be home the first time, you'll feel completely at ease as long as you're working with professionals.
But Debbie, I'm going to spend more than $40. I mean, we've had quotes before, and it can be $200-$300.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, it depends on what you want them to do. I guess
Right.
if you keep an area that's over here and over here and over here, it's still not $40.
You know what? The good news is when you sign up for like a recurring cleaning, weekly or biweekly service, it's dramatically cheaper than what you just described. But on the very first visit, yes, oftentimes it's going to cost $300-$400. But you also have to weigh that against how much is your time worth. And a lot of busy professionals, their time is worth $50, $60, $100 an hour, and it's worth hiring the chores out.
Well, and I guess, too, there's that, but the feeling you have when they're done, it really is nice.
Oh.
I had a friend who was selling her house, and it's a pretty big house, and they had cleaners come over and just go through it with a toothbrush. It was $5,000. Now, it was unbelievable.
That's a big house.
It's a big house. It was 4 floors.
Yeah.
It was a huge house, but, I mean, the place was just immaculate.
Right.
So you get these, and what's ISSA?
ISSA is the Worldwide Cleaning Association, and residential cleaning companies join this association to better their services and learn more about the industry. And you're exactly right. There is nothing like that feeling of walking into a clean house or sleeping in on Saturday morning and waking up to a clean house. And of course,
No question. No question.
You know, it's a heavy feeling to see, you know, the dirt in the corners and the cobwebs on the ceiling and think, I'm going to get to that, and you just don't.
And this is getting deeper. But
Someday.
Don't women take more of a guilt with stuff like, I mean, don't women think, gosh, I can't do this?
It's terrible.
And I think
And you
guys
feel like a failure. Like, I'm not getting to that, but I know I'm busy.
but guys should feel that too, but they don't.
Right.
well, women do have a little bit of the Superwoman Complex. We feel like we can do it all, but we do realize that we can't keep up with it all. And the guys are usually urging their wives, get a house cleaning service. Your time is worth being able to do what you
There are
want to do.
a lot of
on the
women
weekend.
resisting spending money because it's their duty or they feel they ought to do that. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot going into that.
Well, it's becoming an affordable necessity for families. More and more people, in fact, 1 million more than a decade ago, are actually willing to hire out the chores. And it's not really that expensive. Most of us don't live in 4-story homes, and it's not thousands of dollars to clean. So it's not that expensive. And when you have regular service, it's even less expensive.
So what? How do I find an ISSA? How do I get those kinds of cleaners?
You can go to ISSA.com and look for their member list. They have members that are a part of ARCSI, and these are people that are professional house cleaning companies. And that is really the best place to look for a pro. I mean, they have insurance, they have bonding, and they take their business seriously. And honestly, it's not that much more expensive to hire a pro versus an amateur. And in the long run, if you've ever hired an amateur, you know how costly that actually can be in the long run.
What kind of cleaning should a person do before the cleaning service arrives?
Declutter stuff. Get the stuff off counters and stuff, right?
Yeah, don't clean before they clean, but do pick up, because you will get more bang for your buck if you take a few minutes, maybe a half hour, maybe an hour, and you just tidy up and pick up.
Okay.
Let the professionals come in and do the scrubbing and the cleaning.
They're not going to put dangerous chemicals down, are they?
Well, vet the companies that you talk with and ask them, do you use eco-friendly cleaning supplies? Will you use my supplies if I prefer? Just talk to these professionals, and many of them will accommodate you or bring their own eco-friendly cleaning products.
Debbie, do you have kids, and have you trained them on how to tidy up, and every Saturday you spend a few hours just making the house tidy?
Well, when my kids were at home, I remember it was a bit of a battle, a bit of a chore, and with all the things that we want our kids to do, I chose not to bug them to clean. So, yes, I made them keep their bedrooms tidy, but we had a cleaning service all growing up with my children in the home.
Wait a minute, you're a cleaning expert. You're a cleaning expert.
Exactly.
The plumber's faucet always dripping. What?
Always had my own cleaning company come and clean my house. You'd be surprised at how many people don't use their own cleaning service. And I've always had, I figured, hey, I need to practice what I preach.
Okay.
We pick up, we tidy, and we have a cleaning service come in and do the hard scrubbing.
Very
love
good.
it, love it, love it.
All right. Well, Debbie, how do people find you? Sardone, Debbie Sardone?
They can just Google my name, find me on LinkedIn, or they can go to issa.com and learn more about cleaning and how to find a professional home cleaning service.
Well, thank you for the enlightenment. It makes sense once you put it in place and say, yes, if we had that and that and that cleaned all the time, it'd feel good. Mm-hmm. Do people do it weekly, bi-weekly? What's a normal thing?
Most people go with every other week cleaning, and what I tell people is decide now what is your time worth. And more than likely, when you analyze what your time is worth, you will hire out the chores that you don't like, and cleaning is one of them.
Debbie, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
8:35 on the Bloom Daddy Radio Network. So this study says paying others to do your chores is the secret to happiness. Somebody who would know about household chores is Debbie Sardone. She's a cleaning industry specialist joining me now. Debbie, good morning.
Good morning. This is one of my favorite topics, talking about cleaning again.
Well, here we go. And not many people, it says you've got a little extra money laying around, you should pay people to do stuff like clean your home, cut your grass, because it'll open you up to more free time and you can enjoy yourself. But I don't think many people think that way. Do you?
More and more people think this way than they used to. Money can't buy happiness, but it can buy time. And studies show that time is what people want, and more time increases happiness. And more people are willing to hire out those cleaning chores.
What about, a lot of people think it's just the wealthy, though. How somebody out there who might not have a whole lot of, cash in hand, if you will. What do you say to those people who are going, you know what, it's just easier to do it myself. I'm not going to pay somebody to do it. What's the benefits of paying somebody to do it?
It's funny that you say that, because years ago it seemed like it was just the wealthy people that hired out their cleaning. But families have decided this is a necessity, and it's become an affordable necessity. In fact, the ISSA, the Worldwide Cleaning Association, they have reported that cleaning companies cannot keep up with the demand. In fact, another study shows that more than 1 million people more than a decade ago are hiring out chores. So it's just become a necessity. People feel like they cannot do it all. They can't work all week and then spend all day Saturday scrubbing.
Debbie, when you say hiring out for chores, most people's going to think cutting grass and cleaning the house. What else are you talking about? What else would this entail to free up time?
There's been the popularity of picking up your groceries. You can order online and drive up to the curb at some grocery stores, pick up your groceries. More and more grocery delivery services are emerging, even services to deliver restaurant meals to your home. People are just willing to buy time because time is what they want more of, and more time equals happiness.
Talking to cleaning industry specialist Debbie Sardone. Debbie, in your opinion, when people want to buy time, are people just getting worse at maximizing their time? Are they just getting worse at plotting their day and keeping everything on schedule? Is that why people have so much less time, or is it just simply people are working more?
I think people are working more. We are busier. We have more tools at our disposal that cause us to take work home with us in terms of your smartphones and your laptops. I think people are just putting in more and more hours, and they have more disposable income as a result. They just find they have less time for the things they'd really rather be doing.
All right, Debbie, what do you say to somebody like me who I don't want somebody. You think about cleaning the house. Would I like to have somebody clean my house? Sure, but I don't want a stranger going through my house, cleaning my stuff. I mean, it just seems a little too personal to me. What would you say to alleviate that feeling?
Here's what I say. Try it once, and you will never want to clean again. And stick with a professional cleaning company because the prices are just about the same when you schedule routine cleanings. And find a professionally vetted cleaning company through organizations like ISSA. And once you have it done, I promise you, you will no longer feel like you need to do it yourself. It's absolutely fabulous to sleep in on Saturday and wake up to a clean house.
Maybe I just make my mom do it.
I don't think so.
That's what moms are for, aren't they?
No, that's what kids are for.
Yeah, exactly. They're the ones that make the mess, though, so they certainly don't want to clean it back up. Hey, Debbie, I appreciate you being on the show again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, let's say you were given $40 on the condition that you had to spend it on something that would make you really happy. Okay, what would you do with the money?
Debbie Sardone is joining us on the Coco News Live line. And Debbie, without giving away what your specialty is, what do happy people do with that money?
Oh, my goodness. Happy people buy more time for their lives. And it is worth every minute of it when you buy time to avoid doing something you don't really enjoy doing in the first place.
Okay, buying time. So explain what that means.
Well, we've all heard that money can't buy happiness, but it can buy time. And studies have shown that time is what people want, and more time increases happiness. And literally, people are hiring out chores they don't want to do, and they don't have the time to do. They don't want to spend their whole weekend on chores.
So are we talking about house cleaning, or are we talking about, little honey-dos that you're trying to get done?
Well, the biggest chore that people hate to do, and studies have shown more than 1 million people are hiring out house cleaning services than a decade ago. And so that's like the number one chore, especially women who work all week and kind of take extra pride in their home. We have decided that hiring out house cleaning services has become really an affordable necessity.
An affordable necessity. All right. So are people, and when they came up with this study, do they just feel, when you hire people to do something for you, how does it make you feel? How does it make you see life?
Until you've walked into a clean home that somebody else did and worked hard to get it that way, you just can't even imagine the feeling. And that's what we hear all the time is, I had no idea it would feel so good to walk into a clean house. It smells good, it looks good, and every room got cleaned at once versus when you're trying to clean a room and then you're interrupted and then you have to get back to the other part of the house later in the week. It just feels good. And women have said especially, it is an emotional boost. It is a euphoria of happiness when you feel like, wow, I got this. My house is great. It looks clean. I've taken care of my family. Now I can do what I want. on Saturday.
Now, are they doing now? Because a lot of people will have somebody come in to do the deep cleaning. So, you're doing the dishes and you're keeping the counters clean and all that stuff. But then you hire somebody to come in and do the baseboards and the kind of the stuff that you actually have to get down on your knees to do. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the hard stuff, the stuff that gets built up over time. You don't even notice it when you're doing normal general cleaning. So you can hire a professional to just come in one time and do a big, deep clean. But most people feel that once they've hired and spent the extra money on a big, deep clean, that they want to keep it maintained. And it's considerably less expensive, like around $120, just to have them come back every 2 weeks and keep all those areas up, all the baseboards, all the ceiling fans, all the doors, all the cabinets. They won't get dirty and neglected again if you stay on top of it with some professionals.
It is interesting that back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, if you were watching movies, TV shows, that only the wealthy had people that were taking care of their homes.
That's true, and that used to be the way it is. But more and more families have two income people living in the household, and they really can't keep up. And they've made the budget choice to just build professional house cleaning services into their everyday budget. And more middle America families are utilizing this source. In fact, according to ISSA, the Worldwide Cleaning Association, residential cleaning companies cannot keep up with the demand. They literally have more customers wanting their home cleaned by professionals than they can keep up with.
And I also read something interesting that psychologically, that people who suffer from depression, if they surround themselves with clutter, they get even more depressed. As to saying, all right, if you're depressed and you wake up to an orderly, clean surrounding, it really does help your mental health.
It is so true. And when you have a clean and orderly home, you feel more control in your life. And a lot of depression is a result of people feeling like they don't even have control of their own life. They work long hours. They're so busy and committed on the weekends. So, yes, that feeling of I've got some control back in my life truly does contribute to overall mental health and a better outlook overall on life.
All right, Debbie, good talking to you again. That's Debbie Sardone, who is a cleaning professional, a cleaning industry specialist.
Yes.
Here on the Kogo News Live Line.